Hi guys, first of all the housekeeping. I'm smoking my Savinelli pipe and in it I've got my son's blend Oriental Dreams, and I must say it's a brilliant blend. I'm really enjoying it, and he was very generous in sending me some. He also sent me some of his version of my favourite blend, which is Dr. Sardorian, and a little bit of other tobacco. It's strange really, I've reached my 101. And before I mention the giveaway, I want to say thank you to you all really, who have made this group so special. Those of you who are subscribed to me, thank you especially. And those of you who have just popped by occasionally or who I follow, I get a lot out of this group, you know that. Sorry, and I hope it goes on for quite a while. You know, until I'm celebrating my 101 years or something like that. So, you know, try and do your best. I was going to tell you about the Battle of Jutland because the gift I want to give away is connected with that. But really, I'm not going to spend much time on it. It was the biggest naval battle, certainly when it happened in history. In those days, they had sort of what they call dreadnought battleships. They were basically a box containing high explosive shells, fuel, an engine, and dirty great guns. And the men were there to serve the guns and to get the ship into position for battle. And the Battle of Jutland was basically the English Grand Fleet and the German fleet firing at each other. The Germans wanted to get out of the blockade that the English had put on so that they could cross the Atlantic, and the English wanted to keep them where they were. The English lost more ships than the Germans, but the Germans were defeated really, or it was touch and go, but they eventually retreated back into the blockade. Over 9,000 men were killed. I know that doesn't sound a lot in terms of some modern day battles, but when you think of them being on a ship, that's quite a total of destruction. And the thing I'm giving away is from the Admiral's battle cruiser, ship. It's made out of teak, and the sign says that it comes from Admiral Jellicoe's battleship 1916. The Iron Duke was his ship. It's just a little wooden tub, but it holds a lot of history. There's a slight burn mark on it, but it is an antique. It's 100 years old, and when you think about it, it's probably got within that wood, if wood has memories, a lot of memories of the battle and of the terrible things that happened. I've been trying to think what question to ask. And I thought, you know, what would you do if money was no object? Suppose you'd won $20 million. What would you do with it? How would you invest it or spend it, or what would you really like to do with it? If you send me a video recording of that and then post in the bottom what you'd like to do. The reason I've chosen that is, well, I'll tell you at the end, but it's open to any age, really. I mean, you normally say only 18s, you know, over 18, but as I'm not sending any tobacco out, just sending a piece of history. If there are anybody under 18 in the pipe group, well, you can enter as well. What I will do at the end is get Google to choose for me, I think. There's, you know, get them to sort out and choose one of the responses. If you don't want to be in it, then, you know, if you're putting a response to 100 subs, that's okay, but make it clear below. And then before I do the draw, I can take those ones out and make sure that the people who have given a VR can have their, hopefully, one of them will win. I'm feeling sort of quite difficult because I don't know quite what to say. I'm just so surprised that I've got to 101 subscribers. Partly because, as you know, I haven't been on all that long. You're very kind. That's all I can say. I'm having real trouble with this pipe as well. I think I'm nervous. But why have I chosen what would you do with $20 million or £20 million if you're English? There was a young boy. He won, not a young boy, but a son of a man. He won £20 million on the lottery. And he went to his father and said, "Dad, you know, I've done really well." So his dad said, "Have you, son?" And he said, "Yes, I have, Dad. I've won £20 million. And his dad said, "Well, that's very, very good. What are you going to do with it?" And he said, "Well," he said, "I thought I'd go round the world, first class all the way, stopping at every country and really enjoying life." So his dad said, "Oh, it sounds nice." And he said, "Then when I got back, I thought I'd buy a really nice big house. You know, it's about 20 rooms and a dozen bathrooms, that kind of thing, with a swimming pool and a little airstrip, and I'll have a yacht and a racing car." So he said, "Oh, lovely." And he said, "But I want you to know that I'm going to give your mum £1,000. And he said, "Well, son, that's really nice." And the boy said, "What are you going to do with your £1,000, Dad?" And he said, "Well, I think I'll marry your mother." So the lad looked shocked, looked at his dad and said, "You'll marry me mother?" And he said, "Yes, yeah." He said, "I'll use the £1,000 to marry your mother." And the lad said, "But you know what that makes me, don't you?" And he said, "Yes, I do, son. You're a bloody mean one, I can tell you." When you've posted, just let me know. And if I've forgotten anything, let me know and I'll come back and deal with that. And thank you again. I can't thank you enough, really. You've taught me so much about smoking for a start. As you can see by the way my pipe keeps going out, you've done well. Anyway, I'm going to close there. And I'll be thinking about what I would do with 20 million.